Well, we always say that it's never too late to buy your first Bitcoin or first 0.0001 Bitcoin or whatever. But if you're getting in after the banks, it's pretty late, right? It's pretty late in the game for you to just be getting into Bitcoin now. I guess it benefits Bitcoiners because if the banks buy a bunch of Bitcoin, the price will go up. So in that way, it's good for Bitcoiners. As far as the banks being our newest, greatest fans and friends, they don't seem that into actually using Bitcoin, sending it around. They like to hold it in big vaults and just kind of capture it, which is not really the Bitcoin spirit, as we've seen with others. But again, it seems very much like a quid pro quo, as if they paid for something and then they got something. So I'm very excited for them that they got something. Politics is not usually so directly transactional, so it's very strange. But with this one, as opposed to the Ross one, maybe Trump really does believe in the freedom of banks and wants to open up their rights and allow them this new freedom. So I could see him ideologically lining up with this. Of course, he does also owe the banks a lot of money. Let's not forget that. Josh, anything more on the SEC allowing the banks to hold Bitcoin? And of course, not just Bitcoin, but crypto, I'm sure. I'm sure it's
Well,
crypto.
I'd like to shout out to the chat who are bringing up some good points. Banks can legally fractionally reserve stuff. I don't know if this is I don't know if that is just for US dollars, or I don't think they can do that with custodying. Let's say I'm pretty sure it would be like a Bailey Law contract that they would have when custodying, because these are almost like holding physical stuff. So for instance, if I deposit gold into a bank, they can't fractionally reserve that right now. They have to have my gold there, depending on the contract type. If it's a Bailey Law contract, of course, if it's a bunch of ETFs, I don't know what they do there. It's all nonsense. But so that's interesting. That's from the recycling guy. We
That's
also
also
have.
a fair point, Josh. At this point of time, we got to think a little bit differently. The banks could just hold the ETFs. They could call it holding Bitcoin. They don't have as much risk with the keys. It's a lot similar to a bank holding stocks, which I'm sure they must do. Don't have the details. Go ahead,
Well, I'm not
Josh.
sure if that if that new
Do
bylaw from
banks
the
invest in Apple stock? Is that a thing where the banks are just like, I feel like technology? I mean, I guess they're backing things